On today's show on Dallas Mavericks Today, Coop and I are going to hand out grades for the first half, really the first two-thirds of the season. But the All-Star break is here. The Mavericks have some time off, so we're going to go player by player and kind of give an overall team grade as well, Coop. And hey, 6-game winning streak heading into the All-Star break.
Longest win streak in the NBA right now, and the Mavericks are sitting, I believe, 8th in the West at 32 and 23.
Which is crazy, by the way.
And they're, I believe, 1 game behind, like 5th or something like that. So they play Phoenix to come out in the second half. It'll be an absolutely crucial matchup. But 32 and 23, 118.7 points per game, which is 7th in the NBA, and their defensive rating is 116.2, which is 11th. And that actually surprised me. I didn't think they were going to be that high in defensive rating, but I know since the new boys have joined, they have been absolutely awesome on defense.
Yeah, and during this 6-game winning streak, the defense has been good, so that number has probably trended in a positive direction as of late. So we're going to go through this on today's show. What do you guys think? How would you grade the Mavericks first half of the season? A, B, C, D, or F? It's tricky to grade it all, Coop, because they came out of the gates firing, then they kind of stunk for 2 months. I mean,
absolutely.
They didn't fall off a cliff completely to where they were out of the playoff mix, and then you kind of look at this last 3 weeks or so, they've been a lot better. So
it's almost like once they're healthy, they're going to be better. Once Kyrie Irving plays consistently as well. I would give it a B, I think. I'm not actually positive on that, so let us know what you guys think down in the comments. I'm not giving them an A for sure.
No.
I don't think it's a C because they're 32 and 23, so yeah, B sounds right to me.
I think B. They've had some injuries. I think that's fair. It's been inconsistent, but if you want to say B minus, that'd probably be fine as well. But somewhere in that range. But I would say whatever the grade is, I would give it a green arrow up next to that grade because they're playing a lot better right now. All right, let's get into some of these player grades here, Coop. And if you kind of want to guide the ship for us here as we go through this player by player.
Absolutely.
And we'll hand out some grades. And, hey, let's start with the top of the line here.
Yes, the perfect students are obviously Luka Doncic, who gets an A++. So if, it's a 1 out of 100, he gets a 102. He's been absolutely fantastic. I think he's the MVP of the league. We're going to take a look at his stats here in the first half. And the numbers don't even really do it justice how good he's been. When you take into account his defensive ability as well this year, I think, plain and simple, he's been the best player in the league.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's certainly going to be debate for that, but it's hard to argue against. I saw a tweet, I think yesterday, Coop, that, someone outlined the health around the top 4 MVP candidates, and the guys who have started most next to Luka with the Mavericks have missed a combined 67 games.
Correct.
The next closest is 22 games missed. So he's been carrying an injured team all year, whereas Giannis and those guys haven't had as much injuries around him. He's done it at a high level. He's having a career year shooting the 3 ball as well. So yeah, he's been very good. The defense has been good as well. And look, Dereck Lively's missed some time, but, I mean, we saw it again last night, Coop, in a reserve role coming off the bench. I think he was plus 27 in 17 minutes or something like that.
Lively was great last night, and this is all relative to expectation as well, so we'll get to Kyrie Irving in just a minute, but I don't think I was expecting Dereck Lively to have this big of an impact in his rookie season. No. I thought he would grow as the season went on, but he has been integral to this team so far.
Yeah, he's been great. Obviously you bring in Daniel Gafford, and that helps. Take some pressure off too, and it'll be interesting to see, moving forward, is Lively the starter, is Gafford the starter? I don't know if it really matters, to be honest, because their skill sets do overlap, and they both can play well with Luka Doncic, but he's been awesome. I mean, we said it, the first couple months of the season that there's a very strong argument to be had that he was the second most impactful player on the team. Now,
absolutely.
I think that you've seen recently with Kyrie getting healthy and playing well, it's clear that, you're going to need him to get to where you want to go. So you get to Kyrie Irving here, and the numbers are awesome. He's played really well recently, but he's missed a lot of games.
Yeah.
So you can't give him a crazy high grade because you got to be on the basketball
court. I would give him an A as opposed to an A+, and I think the availability is the only thing that has really hindered him this year. When he has played, he has been unbelievable. I don't know if you saw last night in the game the shot that he hit over Wembanyama.
Yeah, crazy shot.
He is an absolute wizard with the basketball, and he's the best small finisher I've ever seen around the rim. He can do it any which way, right-handed, left-handed. He can put English on it. He can score at an elite level, and when Kyrie is healthy, I mean, this team is simply a force to be reckoned with. They just are.
Yeah, and it takes pressure off Luka. He doesn't have to do everything every night. When he's out there, I mean, it makes a big difference. You know, a couple weeks ago, we hopped on here and we were like, man, we need Luka and Kyrie to play together. Well, they've played together, and
6-0.
They're 6-0 recently, and they're playing well together. So that's good to see. And now, you know, everybody gets to rest up, and the final 27 games, however many it is going to be vital, and Kyrie's health is obviously going to be very, very important. Coming up, we're going to grade more players, get to some of the second-tier players on this roster as we progress and grade this first half of the season for your Dallas Mavericks. But I do want to remind you of our sponsor. That is Prize Picks. PrizePicks.com/CLNS is the place to go. Download the Prize Picks app and sign up today. Use code CLNS to get a $100 deposit match. And listen, Prize Picks is fun. It's something you can do on a daily basis. The All-Star break is upon us, but there are some games tonight if you want to play tonight. And during the All-Star break, you can use NHL. You can do some college basketball picks as well. You just pick 2 to 6 players. You can cross over sport. Doesn't matter. Just whatever's available. And take more or less on the stat projections from Prize Picks. You're not playing pros. You're not playing sharks. It's just you versus the projections. The more players you put in an entry, the more money you can win if you hit on that entry. You can also kind of hedge a little bit. You can, if you miss one player on a 3 or more player entry, you can still win if you decide to go that route. It's less bang for your buck, but a higher chance of winning. Different avenues to go with Prize Picks. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS to get going today. The good, not great category, you know, Tim Hardaway Jr., I would say, his recent play probably dips him a little bit. He certainly still had a good season overall. We'll give him a B. Josh Green as well. Derrick Jones has kind of found himself in a funk, I'd say the last month or so, Coop. But I think all things considered, what he's given this team has still been very good considering the expectations. And it's unfortunate that Dante Exum's been banged up here, Coop, because he was playing extraordinarily well the first couple of months of the year.
Yeah, he was playing the best basketball of his career, and when he comes back, Jason Kidd said they hope to have him back for the Phoenix game after the All-Star break. I'm not really sure where he fits into this rotation right now, honestly.
Because Jaden Hardy's been playing better recently.
Hardy's been playing good ball, and you know Hardaway's going to get his minutes as well, and obviously Luka and Kyrie are going to get their 35 to 40 minutes a night as well. So I'm not sure where he quite fits in, but I really did like what I saw from both Jones and Exum, both excellent free agent signings for the minimum. Hardaway, outside of this last stretch where he's been pretty cold, has been excellent this year. I think this has been his most consistent year, honestly, besides this little stretch, so I gave him a B. And Josh Green, I gave a B because he's playing the best basketball of his career over the last 20 games or so. Before that, I wasn't really like what I was seeing from Josh Green, but I think right now he's a starter in this team at the 3-point, and I think that's he's pretty established there.
Yeah, he's been good. I mean, Derrick Jones has gone to the bench because Green has played so much better. Obviously, bringing in P.J. Washington to start as well. We're not grading Washington and Gafford, right?
At the end.
Oh, okay. We're going to grade him at the end. Room for improvement. Jaden Hardy, I do think, I'd put an arrow up next to him right now. He's playing pretty good, but, you know, he was kind of in and out of the rotation in this first half. So I think, him and Exum, it'll be curious to see, moving forward, who Jason Kidd trusts more. Maxi Kleba, kind of the same deal. I mean, obviously he's missed a lot of time, but recently he's played really well.
Very good recently.
So, you know, you never know how much you're going to get out of Maxi because he does tend to get injured. Markieff Morris, he's a vibes guy.
He's just kind of there.
Dwight Powell, you know, they put him in last night, and you're like, why are you putting Dwight Powell in?
He played. I'll say this: he played in the garbage time, which is the only time I want Dwight Powell playing.
Yeah, I mean, look, great teammate, good to have in your culture, but in terms of by the way, room for improvement is there for Dwight Powell?
No, not necessarily.
I think that applies.
Fair enough.
Most so to Jaden Hardy there, but yeah, that's where things sit at that point right now. If Dwight Powell plays, that means somebody's injured. That's
no doubt.
The way I view it at this point. Okay, we're going to have content throughout the NBA All-Star break, so hit that subscribe button. We'll, of course, keep tabs on what Luka's doing and Dereck Lively in the Rising Stars game and all that stuff. So don't miss out. We'll cover it all, youtube.com/MavsTV. And then, of course, second half of the season, really the final third of the season, we'll have full coverage as well. So don't go anywhere. Be sure to subscribe. It completes. Omax Prosper, Coop. You know, it's kind of funny on draft night when they took Lively and Prosper. We kind of thought, okay, Prosper, like, there's going to need to be some developing offensively, but we both thought he'd be a rotation guy because he's a bigger wing. That has not proven to be the case. I'm still high on his future.
Me too.
But he's just not ready yet. So we'll see if he gets more opportunities in the second half. You mentioned Keefe again there. Brandon Williams, A.J. Lawson, Greg Brown. I think Lawson is clearly the best out of the two-way guys.
Absolutely.
And could end up getting that permanent final roster spot if the Mavs don't add someone on the buyout market.
Yeah, I think Lawson is the favorite to get that last spot, and he's been a guy that I've been pretty impressed with, obviously in his very limited time. So we'll see what happens with Lawson, but I expect him to get that last roster spot.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. And again, the new guys here, Daniel Gafford, P.J. Washington, very small sample size. Gafford's been awesome.
He's been the perfect fit for this team so far.
Great rebounder, rim protecting, scoring around the rim. He's done it all. The offense has been hit and miss with P.J. Washington, but he's committed defensively, which is good to see. I mean, you brought in Grant Williams to be that defensive guy, and he just wasn't. And Washington, who's not really known to be a great defender, has been so far. Again, only a few games, but you know the offense is going to come with him. That comes naturally for him. If he's going to play above average to good defense for you, though, that's going to be vital moving forward.
Yeah, once Washington starts hitting his threes, this Mavs team is going to be really dangerous. Jason Kidd last night at the start of the second half made Washington the primary defender on Wemby, and he pretty much held him in check for the most part in that third quarter. So credit to Jason Kidd, also credit to P.J. Washington. They've both been fantastic acquisitions so far. And I can't wait to see what they have in store for us after the All-Star break because it could get real fun here.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. And listen, the Mavs are the blank best team in the West. Fill in the blank for us. It's hard to analyze right now. You certainly got to see more games. I think they're better than 8th, though. Like I will say that. I know that's where they're sitting in the standings, but I think
West is competitive, man.
Lakers are starting to win too. I mean,
Warriors
are winning. So yeah, the Mavs they can't lose this momentum over the All-Star break. I mean, you mentioned it, Phoenix coming out of the break. Like you win that game, you might move up 2 spots because you're right there in that clumped grouping of 5 through 8, 5 through 9 right now. So certainly going to be important to come out of the gates hot in the second half. So we'll be here for all of it. Enjoy the All-Star break. We'll have more videos to come. He's Jeffrey Cooperstein. I'm Harrison Graham. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next time.
See you soon.